Hey, and welcome to this section. Now, in this section, we would just give some detailed explanation on best way to make use of the indicator, as it was inquired if all signals are to be traded and the likes. Now, the first thing we need to do is check out for the overall trend. That is the first thing we do. So as you can see here, price was what's giving us, don't mind my drawing. I didn't mean it was on TradingView. I've been able to make a perfect line, but then we can see from this angle, you can see price is was on an uptrend till we got to a major resistance here. Now, after the resistance here, price still attempted in the hope of continuing the trend, but then this zone rejected that, and then this began the first move of a bearish trend. Currently, we're on a bearish trend because this is an hourly time frame, and this trend, as I would have said, it has been running. This bearish trend has been running for at least for a couple of days now, if not 3 or 4 days. So the first thing we should always look out for is the overall trend. Currently, we are on a bearish trend. Now we would start looking for entries on a bearish trend. Because we are on a bearish trend, it doesn't mean we should just make a sell entry. Now this is where the zone markers comes in. Now, this was a major resistance. This is what is giving us giving us the overall trend. Most cases would have missed out on this trend because it seems it was even the news that changed the trend. I wouldn't know, but then I wouldn't have missed out on this. And because this is a pullback, it may not be the perfect pullback. Like most people, what they think of a pullback is price has to re-enter the zone. Like price came here and then it has to enter the zone again. It doesn't necessarily need to enter the zone again. It just needs to make an attempt to enter in the zone. So sometimes a pullback would come all the way here and go down. So if you have been waiting for pullbacks to enter, then you've missed it. So this is the advantage the indicator is giving us here. So it marks a zone. So it is like a zone of interest. Like it doesn't necessarily need to go all the way up, but then the moment a zone is marked, then it is giving you a clear indication that that zone could continue the trend for you. And so what you need to do is, in most cases, you should wait for this small arrow confirmation. In most cases, at times there are some candle formation as well. The reversal candle formation, maybe the morning star, the 3 candle pattern, engulfing candle, and the likes, so that you can use to make entries. So you don't want to trade against the trend. The trend is what you just want to trade along the trend. You don't want to trade against the trend. So the first thing is, remember to get the overall trend, then your verified zones. So those are the zones you look to. Those are the zones. You don't use a weak zone. You don't use an unverified zone. You look for a verified or a strong zone. Those are the zones that should come in your mind. So the moment you get an arrow confirmation on any of those zones, like this, then, because in most cases one would have missed out on this major on this main one, because price was going up and this is where the trend changed. So then on this pullback, you wouldn't have missed. And if you'd have missed on this, it still gave us an entry here to have entered the trade. So what you need to do is, once you get to overall trend, the verified zones, now you wait for the arrow confirmations. In most cases, I would wait for the kind of setup I like most is a pullback. Like price should head something similar to is this. Price was also buying, and then this is where the overall trend changed. This is where it changed. you can see. So the moment price changed the trend from here, this would have been a perfect entry, because this is a confirmation of what, of the continuation of this previous of this trend start, of this trend shift. This is a confirmation and this is a continuation. So most times you enter the trade at confirmation. That is, when price is giving you a direction, you wait for what? You wait for a how will I put it? You wait for a pullback. So this is where the game of patience. So trading is a game of patience. So it is not something you get setups every day, except you just want to keep buying or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell, and it doesn't work like that. So you need to wait for the proper setups. I think that is the main thing. So once, the first thing is the overall trend. If you've gotten the overall trend, and something I'd like to mention is, if a trend is ranging, you can't tell if it is going, it is buying or it is selling. If you can't give a clear indication, don't just enter that kind of trade. So it has to be on a clear indication. As you can see from here, we can see this is a clear indication that this is a buy. Price continues. As you can see here, price came here and then it has given a buy from here, and then it gave a pullback here again. Let me zoom this. You can see it gave a pullback here, and then it gave the confirmation for the what? For the buy here. Like that. This is how you use the arrow to give a confirmation here too, and news also helped it to go all the way to the moon. So but then in this after the week ended and the following week of the news, there was a change in trend. So this was the first indication of a change in trend. Most probably would have missed that trade, but then we wouldn't have missed this, because this is what, a confirmation. So you don't want to miss confirmation. And for those, and if you have taken the trade targeting with a rule of risk, 3 risk reward ratio, trust me, this pair did more than 1:6 risk reward ratio. If your entry has been on this arrow, the stop loss has been below here, this is 1:6 before price pulled back. And then from this pullback, you see price is starting to, the sell continuation has continued again. So for the next entry, let's say we still want to look for an entry here, we will wait for what? For a new zone to be formed. Either price comes to attempt this zone, or a new zone is formed around here. So if a new zone is formed around here, we just need price to give us a confirmation for the sell, and then we'll continue selling. So we don't want to fight against the trend. So that is how to properly use the indicator. It seems I also have a trade running, so I'm using the same logic. So you should know these things work. So you just need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to wait for. Now if you are looking at the indicator, now the indicator gave us a buy. Do you get? The indicator gave us a buy, but then this is not a buy. Why? So if for those with keen eye, you can see 806. So this is a false signal. So it comes from, because if market makers start manipulating the market, yes, signal indicators will just fall for it. Don't know if you are getting, but with setups, if you are able to understand the setups, get the overall trend, wait for pullbacks. The moment there is a pullback, then wait for a confirmation. At the confirmation, you enter the trade. Like this, now I have a trade running too. So this was overall it is a sell trend. Let's forget about the fact that it is testing support here. It is still an overall trend. So, and one advantage we have with the indicator here is the zone was marked, and then it gave what? It gave the sell confirmation. It gave the sell confirmation and make an entry to the trade. Though, so in this case, you don't want to trade against the trend. So whatever confirmation you are getting in continuation to your trend, that is what to take. So I hope this helps us to make proper use of the indicator.